live 5 for 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
Well, here we are. We're just 4 days away from fall. The temperatures are certainly feeling like it. We'll have a full look at that fall-like 5 for 6 forecast.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 4, a new training facility is open for business in Augusta. What they offer and how you can benefit from it.
Plus, developing future employees. That's what one local company is doing. The program that's preparing students for the workforce.
And millions of dollars heading to South Carolina. The impact that money's going to have on students with disabilities. As News Channel 6 at 4 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 4.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with a local sheriff's deputy who was under investigation found dead. The GBI says it happened Friday. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office reached out to Lincoln County Sheriff's Office about an officer they were trying to find. Richmond County used GPS to trace investigator Brian Manakee to Lincoln County. They found him Friday evening on Wisteria Drive near Elberton Highway and Clarks Hill Lake. The 46-year-old was in his care and had a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We now know Manakee was under investigation by the Criminal Investigation Division. He was in a car when he was found. The investigation continues. His body will be sent for an autopsy.
Also today, a look at child trafficking. The average age of a victim is 12 to 14 years old. In the two-state, hundreds of children are being sold for sex every day. That means it's happening in neighborhoods right here across the CSRA. In fact, last year, Richmond County had more child trafficking victim referrals to the Children's Advocacy Centers of Georgia than any other county in the state. Traffickers offer kids drugs, money, manicures, shoes, or gift cards, all in exchange for sex. We talked to an Aiken County woman about her granddaughter who was a victim and how old that child was when it started.
3 years old. This is an age they should be out playing with their teddy bears and all that, not being put in a bedroom.
A lot of times once it advances, the victims in these cases get really nothing. Once they get them away from their comfort zone, it's a lot of times it's you'll do this or you'll get hurt or I won't take you back home.
If you think you've been a victim or you know somebody who is, we have resources to help you on our website. Just find this story under news and special reports at WJBF.com. And we're going to take a closer look at what local law enforcement agencies. All right, Tim, thanks. A brand new training center in downtown Augusta opening its doors for plumbers and steam fitters. Tiffany Hobbs joins us live from Telfair Street to tell us about the new facility. Tiffany?
Well, last week, Local 150 opened its doors to this brand new training facility that you see behind me. Now, union leaders tell us that this is just one of the ways in which they are building for the future. Local 150 consists of union plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, HVAC personnel, sketchers, and instrument fitters. The new training facility on Telfair Street holds an array of apprenticeship training opportunities and classes throughout the year, such as medical gas training, valve certification, and more.
Well, it's not just apprenticeship classes, it's also journeyman classes as well. So, our members can come down here when they have time, take additional training, certifications, to help them, the more certifications they have, the better they can secure job opportunities as well.
Apprenticeship classes happen 2 days during the week, and they do require a union membership. Now, I have all of that information about Local 150 and how you can get involved on WJBF.com. Live in downtown Augusta, I'm Tiffany Hobbs, WJBF, News Channel 6.
All right, Tiffany, thanks. Students and businesses in this area getting a chance to sharpen their skills and fill job positions. John Deere in Grovetown, along with a local nonprofit, working together on an apprenticeship program. Hannah Latier has the story.
High school students have the chance to get hands-on work experience here at John Deere while also preparing for their futures. Trade Up Careers is aimed toward teaching them trade skills on the job and in the classroom. It's partnered with multiple businesses in the CSRA.
A lot of students, I would just say, they don't actually know the options are out there. So a lot of what we do going into high schools is educating students about, what different career paths are there, what kind of income you can earn. There's other pathways other than college that make a fantastic living.
Since the paid assembly manufacturing apprenticeship started earlier this year, one student has graduated and received a full-time job.
For students, it keeps you out of trouble. Keeps you more focused on your goals. It helps you see more than what it is into the world.
There are 2 students currently in the program, and there should be 4 by January. They can begin the program their junior year of high school and continue throughout their senior year, then graduate with a high school diploma and national industry credentials.
I like the experience, meeting new people,
It not only helps out students, but allows businesses to create a workforce and fill trade labor gaps.
There's not as many students or young individuals coming up into the trades. So for businesses, a program like this that partners with them and partners with the schools in our area through Richmond County, it's a great pipeline to actually build talent to their organizations.
To get involved or apply to join the Trade Up program, visit us at WJBF.com. In Grovetown, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to wait 2 more weeks for Augusta commissioners to vote on a new.
The Family YMCA holding a ribbon-cutting ceremony at Camp Lakeside to celebrate the completion of the latest phase of its fundraising projects. The goal of the Healing Through Joy campaign is to expand and enhance the camp. They'll be able to do that with 3 new facilities, a pool, a treehouse, and a lakeside chapel. Several donors and organizations partnered with the Y to raise $2.5 million for Phase 3. That brings the total funding to $12 million over the last 20 years.
The last 15 years, I've seen the process. I've seen where we started and where it is today. The vision is really coming to light, and I have the opportunity to come out each summer and see the kids experience these different amenities and that they wouldn't otherwise have, and it's just heartwarming.
And they are planning to make more additions to the 100-acre property so they can continue to give kids a great camp experience. The South Carolina Department of Education is getting nearly $10 million in federal grants. The money will go toward improving programs for students with disabilities entering the job market. Gracie Fusco reports.
Carolina Shores Accelerated Academy is one of the facilities that will receive the money and work with students to make sure they are ready and prepared to enter the workforce. It's called the South Carolina Pathways Project. The funding aims to provide better and equal job opportunities for students with disabilities. It will also provide teachers specific skill sets they can pass along to their students. The SCDE is one of only 12 agencies across the nation to receive this funding. A disability statistics and demographics study done this year shows 14.3% of South Carolina is made up of people who identify with a disability. These statistics place the state as the 7th in the U.S. with a high rate of unemployment among disabled adults.
There's a lot of students with disabilities in our state that they just have a learning disability. It's not a physical disability, but they leave our schools and they don't have the necessary training that's required for certain types of employment. So it's an opportunity to really expand what we already have.
The director of the academy shared how much this means to them.
When they're here receiving our services, you would never know because of our fully inclusive environment. And they really get the supports and the targeted supports that they need to achieve what they need to achieve to get that high school diploma.
There is no definite time frame for when all of the schools will receive the money, but the Department of Education hopes to distribute it in the spring.
Current state programs for helping people with disabilities find jobs include Hire Me SC, Vocational Rehabilitation, and Able SC. More gorgeous days in the forecast.
Thank goodness.
Lambert Hyundai.
Well, officially we're 4 days away from fall, but I think summer's already packed up and it's just called a quits here. I mean, some beautiful days outside with some really nice temperatures. How long will it last? We'll detail that fall forecast straight ahead.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 6, no new name for Augusta's Riverwalk yet. Why commissioners decided to delay their decision.
Plus, a Richmond County Sheriff's investigator found dead. We'll have the latest information.
And a celebration at Camp Lakeside. We'll show you the new amenities as News Channel 6 at 6 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery.
I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us as coverage you can count on begins with no name change.
No longer an issue at all. Temperatures will remain below average. The weekend, though, is sort of up for grabs. We're going to talk about that in full detail with your forecast in just a few minutes. Jenny, Brad?
All right, Tim, thanks. A local sheriff's deputy who was under investigation was found dead. The GBI says it happened Friday. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office apparently reached out to the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office about an officer they were looking for. They couldn't find him. Well, Richmond County used GPS to trace investigator Brian Manicky to Lincoln County. And they found him Friday evening on Wisteria Drive near Elberton Highway and Clarks Hill Lake. The 46-year-old was in his car and had apparently shot himself. We now know that Manicky was under investigation by the Richmond County Criminal Investigations Division, an investigation that continues. His body will be sent for an autopsy.
A new joint training center in downtown Augusta opens its doors for plumbers and steam fitters. Tiffany Hobbs joins us live from Telfair Street with more about the new facility. Tiffany?
Last week, Local 150 opened its doors to this brand new expanded training center that you see behind me. Now, union leaders say that this is one of the many ways in which they are building for the future. Local 150 consists of union plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, HVAC personnel, sketchers, and instrument fitters. The new training facility on Telfair Street holds an array of apprenticeship training opportunities and classes throughout the year, such as medical gas training, valve certification, and more.
Well, it's not just apprenticeship classes, it's also journeyman classes as well. So, our members can come down here when they have time, take additional training, certifications, to help them, the more certifications they have, the better they can secure job opportunities as well.
Apprenticeship classes happen twice per week, and they do require a union membership. I have more information about Local 150 and how you can get involved on WJBF.com. Live in downtown Augusta, I'm Tiffany Hobbs, WJBF News Channel 6.
Students and businesses in the area are getting the chance to sharpen their skills and maybe land a job. John Deere in Grovetown, along with Team Up Careers, a local
Family YMCA holding a ribbon cutting ceremony at Camp Lakeside to celebrate the completion of the latest phase of its fundraising projects. The goal of the Healing Through Joy campaign is to expand and enhance the camp, and they continue to do so with 3 new facilities: a pool, a treehouse, and a lakeside chapel. Several donors and organizations partnered with the Y to raise $2.5 million for Phase 3. That brings the total funds raised to $12 million over the last 20 years.
Just the opportunity to give these kids a little bit of normalcy in their lives when these kids at the hospital sometimes don't get that. And so it is so special for us to be able to have it and to have the partnership that we have with the Family Y.
Leaders say more additions will be made to the 100-acre property so they can continue to give kids a great experience at camp.
Coming up, digging deeper into child trafficking in the CSRA.
We'll hear from Bartley Bishop about warning signs to look out for. But first, let's take a look at what's ahead tonight on News Nation.
Tonight on News Nation, he runs.
Right now at Rooms to Go, get your best night's sleep on any budget with our huge selection of top brand mattresses for as low as $297. Get this mattress just $397, or comfort like this just $497. Great options, just $597. Rooms to Go has them all. A great selection, just $697. And how about these choices, just $797? Don't wait another night. Choose your perfect mattress from this incredible selection and save right now at Rooms to Go.
We continue with a focus on child sex trafficking in the CSRA. The average victim is between 12 and 14 years old.
And some of those victims live in our neighborhoods. News Channel 6's Bartley Bishop has more now in her new series, Hidden in Plain Sight.
years old. This is an age they should be out playing with their teddy bears and all that, not being put in a bedroom.
To protect her identity, we'll call this Aiken County grandmother Valerie. She tells us her granddaughter was trafficked by her own mother and her mother's boyfriend.
It's really hard when you see an innocent child have that innocence ripped out of them.
And this is happening in our community. Last year, Richmond County had more child trafficking victim referrals to the Children's Advocacy Centers of Georgia than any other county in the state.
It can be super rich, super poor, it doesn't matter. It can happen anywhere. So you always have to be looking. I mean, it is more prevalent in some areas than others, but it can certainly happen anywhere you look.
Brian Austin is the FBI's Assistant Special Agent in charge for Atlanta. For decades, he's seen firsthand how children become victims, not just in the home, but out of it as well, regardless of how involved a parent is in their child's life.
And they can be vulnerable, so if they get the wrong person that's leading them astray, maybe that person shows an interest. And I've seen plenty of examples of human trafficking where the first interaction between the victim and the subject is very positive.
Traffickers offer kids goods like drugs, rent money, a manicure, shoes, or gift cards in exchange for sex.
A lot of times once it advances, the victims in these cases get really nothing. Once they get them away from their comfort zone, it's a lot of times it's you'll do this or you'll get hurt or I won't take you back home.
The innocence of Valerie's granddaughter may have been taken away for the moment, but healing is happening.
To see a glow about the child, when you see him smiling again and laughing, or even speaking up now, that is an amazing healing that just makes my heart glow that through all of this, she is healing and there is hope out there for these kids.
In Augusta, Barclay Bishop, WJBF News Channel 6.
If you think you're a victim or you think you know somebody who is, we do have resources available on our website. Just find this story under news and then special reports at WJBF.com.
Coming up next week, Barclay will share what local law enforcement agencies are doing to try and catch these suspected traffickers. Weather's next. Stay with us.
Wow, get ready for the fall season at Carolina Pottery. Decorate on a budget with great deals on a full selection of fall and Halloween decor, including pumpkins, flowers, ribbons, flags, and more. Visit carolinapottery.com or a store near you.
It's time to...
Looking for fabulous fall decor for your home and outdoor spaces? Carolina Pottery has everything you need for the season, all at unbeatable prices. Signs, pillows, wreaths, home accents, you name it, we've got it. Visit carolinapottery.com or a store near you.
The CSRA.
All right, thanks so much. We'll see you then. The CDC is warning of a triple threat this fall with rising cases of flu, RSV, and COVID-19 as respiratory illness season approaches. Artist Sean Reed tells us why the risks are so much bigger this year.
While doctors say flu typically peaks between December and February, they are noticing increased activity in the southern hemisphere, which could indicate an earlier flu season here in the U.S., including in the Peach State.
As a pediatric ear, nose, and throat doctor, I take care of a lot of upper respiratory issues. Last year we saw the tridemic where you had flu, you had RSV, you had COVID, so lots of viral illnesses floating around. We anticipate that this year is also going to be particularly heavy, just related to everybody being around.
Doctors say getting your flu shot can reduce your chances of getting sick by up to 60%, and your flu shot is effective for up to 6 months.
Lots of people that still haven't been exposed to these viruses. The viruses are mutating. So I think we'll see hospital systems that become at capacity, beyond capacity, lots of people that become ill. So the tridemic, as it were, will be largely in force again this year.
Last flu season, the CDC says 4 million people had flu-related medical visits, with more than 100,000 people being hospitalized and 5,000 people dying due to flu complications.
The people whose immune system are weakened are most at risk, or that are undergoing chemo, and that weakens their immune system. So the very young and the very old are the most at risk. These diseases do cause significant illness and potential death, even in young, healthy people.
In Georgia, the Department of Health says 53 people have died due to flu complications since last October, with more than 2,000 being hospitalized and around 300 influenza-related outbreaks in the state. Reporting in Atlanta, Archit Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.
No name change for Augusta's Riverwalk. Well, students and businesses in the area are getting the opportunity to sharpen their skills and fill some job positions. John Deere Commercial Products in Grovetown and a local nonprofit are working together on an apprenticeship program. Hannah Latier has more.
High school students have the chance to get hands-on work experience.
Weedmeyer and a ball field at Diamond Lakes for former Commissioner Andy Cheek were also pushed back 2 weeks. Well, students and businesses in the area are getting the opportunity to sharpen their skills and fill some job positions. John Deere Commercial Products in Grovetown and a local nonprofit are working together on an apprenticeship program. Hannah Latier has more.
High school students have the chance to get hands-on work experience here at John Deere while also preparing for their futures. Trade Up Careers is aimed toward teaching them trade skills on the job and in the classroom. Since the paid assembly manufacturing apprenticeship started earlier this year, one student has graduated and received a full-time job. It not only helps out students, but allows businesses to create a workforce and fill trade labor gaps.
There's not as many students or young individuals coming up into the trades. So for businesses, a program like this that partners with them and partners with the schools in our area through Richmond County, it's a great pipeline to actually build talent to their organizations.
To get involved or apply to join the Trade Up program, visit us at WJBF.com. In Grovetown, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.
A new joint training center in